You are now listening to The Power of Gentle Talk with Ana Palacio, the talk that informs, inspires, and motivates.
Welcome back, everyone. My name is Ana Palacio, and I hope that you are being inspired today. That's one of my subtopics for my show. I really like bringing topics that are trending, and I will continue. But today is a topic that I think is inspiring all of us. It's inspiring me as I sit here, and I know as you're listening, and you'll get to hear the second part now, and how this wonderful book came about, and how she gave birth to this book. And after her son, the next milestone was definitely the creation of this book, Cristal and the Secret of the Enchanted Forest. I highly recommend this, not just for your children, but for the child, that inner child that we all have, that we need to nurture, and that we forget in these fast-paced times. We're so focused on other things, and we have forgotten to nurture a lot of our spiritual essence, that spiritual side of us. That it is there. It's there. It's dormant for some of us, and it's very alive for others. So before the break, we were getting started, and we were ending and beginning where you discovered that you could paint and draw. So how did that happen?
It was totally unexpected. That's why I believe and I say that when we are inspired, faculties come that we never dream of. And I love it. I always used to listen to when I remember I was listening to audiobooks while I was painting, and one of the saying that he always said, says from Patanjali, is when you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all your thoughts break their bonds, your mind transcends limitations, your consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world. Dormant forces, faculties, and talents become alive, and you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be.
And that's so true. And now that you're going to tell us how you discovered that you could paint without ever painting or drawing before, you're now here in the States, or you're still in Montevideo, Uruguay?
I'm still here. I live
you
here
local.
Now. Yes.
And you had your son already?
Yes, he's 15 years old now.
15 years old now. Wow.
Yes, but I started up.
So what was going through your mind at that moment?
At that moment, it was a shift. Really, how can I serve? How can I live a better world? How can I do something that can, leave a legacy for my son? Having a son and seeing and being in touch with so many books and realizing that sometimes we really need to be very careful about what type of things we let them watch, or all the cartoons, or a lot of video games, or a lot of disconnection with nature. I really believe that we really need to love this planet, not only because all the things that they're going through now, but because that is the legacy that we're going to leave to the future generations. The choices that we make today, either if we care, if we recycle, if we protect our planet, if we protect our species or animals, or anything that we are doing today, is going to determine how they're going to inherit this world from us. And that was something that for me, it was very, very imperative to do something about it. So everything started as a dream, like a little seed. Like when you see a seed and you plant it, you don't expect that you can find a huge tree after with unlimited, fruits. But for me, everything started with a book, and one thing led to another, and now I started a project at schools that is called Love and Kindness Movement.
Wow.
And when I go to the schools and I read the book, and it's the most amazing feeling in the world, because I gave them a piece of paper where they create their own art, and I gave them a heart. And I have a huge painting that I did with the art.
And I'm gonna show these in a moment. But I want you to go back to when you discovered how to paint, because I really want to take the audience step by step to the birth of this book.
Okay.
And then I want to hear more about the project, so because I really just wanted to go in order, and because it's such a wonderful story.
I know, and then...
So tell me, you discovered that you could draw and paint.
And it was kind of like, oh my God, how, like, I wasn't, believing myself, because when I wrote the whole book, I was, now what? And then I started painting, but before I paint, before every painting, I just, pray in my heart that I can put all my love into that painting, and then everybody who read that book can feel that love and can connect with that love that is within all of us, that we are that love. And I started creating this, every single one, like, it was something like magical, because I wasn't like planning, and I remember I had to do it in a certain way, and it took me, to be honest, like 2 years, because I painted in oil, but it has to be perfect with every detail, every animal and every color.
And you know what? And I think because you impregnated so much of your energy into it, when the person is reading it, you really do feel the love. You really do, and you feel good about yourself. But whatever, something shifts, and it's like, okay, I made too much of it. That's how I felt like, when I was reading it to my sister. And we felt like, two little girls. But at the end, it was like we were really happy, right?
Yeah, because it's not only for kids, it has a lot of, lessons for adults as well, that it can bring you back to that point where you always make choices based on the eyes of love.
Okay, now I'm really nosy, so I have to know the details. I want you to tell me, what was the first picture that you drew?
Well, the first was this one. And then I did the cover.
Okay, can you show it to the camera, that way we can follow along? This is the cover is the first picture you drew?
But then I didn't, everything was so like magical, creative, because I did it without knowing why I did that dog in her hand. And then I really want to put the hearts in the trees to bring back that connection with nature, that, these days everybody's so busy that we forgot to look at the sky and to look at nature and to really appreciate a flower or something. So I wanted to really bring back that feeling of connection that I always have since I was little, but really, give the opportunity for parents to share that with the kids. These days it's amazing the way that, everything work with technology and everything, but sometimes it's too much, technology, that sometimes
we need a balance.
Forgot to go and play outdoors. So now I really, say, well, we really want to bring that love through the images, with the trees in the heart and the clouds in the heart.
So let me ask you this: that's your first picture.
Yeah.
When did this wonderful tree of love? When did this picture? Let me hold it up to the camera. When did this picture?
That
surface, when did you see the image of this and started drawing it?
Well, it wasn't in the book, but I remember it was a fundraiser for cancer, and I did a tree of love, and I did a tree of love in a way that we are all connected in the tree of life. We are not separate from each other. That we make to hurt ourselves or nature, we do it to other people. Like in the tree of life, we are all connected no matter what. If we are different in size, color, shapes, everything, we are all the same.
So it's interesting. So you drew this, and it wasn't for the book, but it turned out to be almost the center of the book.
Yes. Okay. Right. And then I put the tree of love, because that way, when we connect through love, we all can shift the vibration of the planet, and then we can all get connected through the tree of love.
So you have your cover. What was next?
Well, next was like page by page, but I went to 1, 2, 3, and then all of a sudden I finished everything, but I remembered that something was missing. I said, no, I have to put something else here, because like the whole story was complete, but in my heart it keeps something going on. And I say, well, I need to do this one. And this one is very important, because talk about forgiveness. And sometimes we live in a society that it is a lot of things going on, and especially at school is a lot of bullying and a lot of segregation sometimes, and pointing fingers and everything. And I say, well, if we all go inside and we connect, with the love within, and we understand that, you know, every person has their own battles, and we really appreciate and love everybody regardless.
And without giving the whole, every detail, why don't you give the audience the idea with the book, what are the key characters are in the book?
Okay, the key character is a princess that she lives in an enchanted forest, and she finds out that a witch is trying to destroy the forest. And it touches different topics. She ran and asked for help and guidance, and she had a friend that is an owl, and the friend told her to look for the answers within herself. And that is a very important thing today for our children, because sometimes they're going to be facing different challenges at school or in life. And as a parents, we need to help them find their voice within, help them find the guidance that it is with every one of us. In that way, through this, they can really show that connection and know that we all have that little voice that guides us and help us to make the right choices. So instead of telling what to do, you teach them how to find their truth, how to find what resonates with their highest good, what resonates with their heart. And sometimes it's hard, you know, in a crazy world, like really connect with that. But if you start, you know, planting those seeds since they're little, then you give them the tools, so whenever they face any situation, they know what to do, and they can listen to that divine voice that is within all of us.
You know, and although it sounds like a story that's been told before, the way the illustrations are done in the book and the way the script plays out, it's really, it's something like for our modern times, like we were saying. It addresses the bullying, and addresses maybe the bullying, whether you're 5 or whether you're 25 or 55.
Yeah.
There's always a bully in our lives, or there may be a witch.
Yeah.
You know, the witch could be, you know, the boss, or it could be the, I don't know, the neighbor.
Or even the bad side of yourself, the side of yourself that you are fearful, the side of yourself where you don't love yourself, the side of yourself that you don't trust the universe and you're not connected with your heart. So everyone, it can, you know, give the interpretation that they need at that moment, and it help you to really put things in perspective, even if it's a little story for children, but it make you see different things. It talk about like how we really need to respect Earth, and how when you hurt somebody else, you're hurting yourself, because we are all connected. And that is something that it brings my heart a lot of happiness, because when I read it to the kids and they come up with the ideas of how can recycle, how can avoid throwing gum on the floor because they hurt the birds and everything, it really brings awareness, and the more awareness that we bring is the better, you know, planet we can leave for them when they grow up. So. And
that's why I love the book so much, because it's so tender, and it seems so, what's the word I'm looking for? And I'm thinking in Spanish, but I'm trying to find it in English. It'll come to me in a little bit. But the book really, anyone that reads it will see things in a different way, no matter what you're going through. I really guarantee that. And I don't recommend things a lot. I don't, but I really do love this book. So once again, it's Cristal and the Secret of the Enchanted Forest. Cristal y el Secreto del Bosque Encantado in Spanish, if you're listening and you want to know the name in Spanish. Where can someone purchase the book?
They can buy it at Balboa Press. They can buy it at Barnes & Noble and Amazon. And online they can order as an ebook or a paperback.
Wonderful. And it's by Sandra
Barbieri. Yeah.
Okay.
And look, show the last one. That is my dream. That's what it's all about.
And this is a wonderful illustration of a world is a heart, right? And then you have included, believe we can do it.
Yes, because I believe if we all learn to love ourselves first, and then we all learn to love others and respect, we can do it. It's a choice that we can do every day. It's like living a life with, you know, love. And maybe, you know, some people think, well, with all the things that we are going on, but it's a little choice that we can do every single day. Like, we always have the choice of be fearful or be love. And we are love. It's our essence. It's our divine character that we have to believe that we are love, that we are divine, and if we tune into that energy, everything is possible. So what I want to say too is like, is nothing impossible if you connect with that feel, because this, I don't own it, I paint and I did it, but I believe that came from an inspiration that can come to you or to everybody. We are all the same. We can have different, things, but if we connect with that divine, with that inspiration, with that the source of unlimited creation, call it God, call it life, call it spirit, whatever name resonates in your heart, you can do anything. You can do anything. And that is what it's all about. Believe that no matter how difficult the situation are you going through, see the blessings in disguise. Change the page and see that as something that is gonna help you to find your way, find your purpose, to learn a lesson, to help somebody else in the future. But you gotta believe that you were born with a purpose, and we all are.
Yeah.
There is no difference with that.
And what I want you now to tell me is, when you go into the schools and you started this project, which is called
It's Love and Kindness
Love
Movement.
and Kindness Movement. Tell me about what happens when you go into the schools and read the book, and then tell the audience, for someone that might want to join and be one of those angels that go into the schools and read your book, how can they reach you, etc.
Well, everything started like a dream, because I say, well, I'm gonna go to the school and promote it, and then with that painting, I did it huge. And what we're doing is we read the book, and then after we talk about what is the importance and why we need to really appreciate nature, and what are the things that we can do. Like, for example, little simple things like don't leave your water running all day long, or if you wanna have the ability to recycle, you can recycle. Or I'll do a lot of art with recyclable materials, and I do art classes to teach them how you can transform and recreate something beautiful, and also give them the opportunity to create, to connect with that creativity.
So what kind of feedback do you get from the children?
Oh, it's the most amazing thing. It makes me cry because it's so beautiful. The drawings, the love, the caring, they are amazing. They are just a gift that for me is life-changing. The way that I see those smiles that make all the things that I'm doing so worth it, because I know that every little thing that we can do is for them. And every little thing that we can do, to really take care of this planet is for them.
What grade levels do you read to?
Elementary, basically, because it's more like, it's pretty much elementary.
This is just something an insight that is coming to me. Even though, and that's why I'm asking, even though you read to elementary, I bet that even if it seemed kind of like silly, high school, where there's so much going on there.
Yeah.
Even if they were just to read it,
Yeah.
I mean, I would even dare to even try myself to go and say, I'm going to read a book to you today, at high school level. Because like I said, I've been out of school for a while, and I really enjoyed this book, and it really does just make you feel so good, or just take a different perspective, like see a different perspective of what's going on at that moment, when you're being so troubled, and you're feeling so weighed down, or like, let me just give up and I'm done. So I would bet, that
it would be a nice experience. What I do is sometimes with the painting classes, there is some high schoolers, and we touch those topics. But what I did it with elementary is because in elementary is when everything starts, and if you plant that seed about like we need to respect each other and see ourselves through the eyes of love, and for example, like the witch didn't have a lot of love in her heart, so she was mean and bad, and she wanted to destroy everything. And sometimes some kids, they have a lot of problems going on in their house, and sometimes they are, holding on to different things, and that's why they become kind of aggressive. So I figure, well, if we can start from the elementary, planting those seeds, and then let it grow. I'm working in another project. It takes me kind of time because I have to paint and write at the same time, and it takes me longer. But I'm working on another book for a little more grown-ups too, that talk about, how to love our body and ourselves, and not talk about nutrition in different ways. And maybe, who knows, I can do a one for teenagers.
Like I said, I really would be surprised to see what
let's do it.
I'm going to join you on that one, because I wouldn't mind going in and just experimenting, just for the ones maybe that they didn't get the nourishing at the elementary level, and maybe, you never know, it's never too late to hear that you can open up your heart and you can,
That's true.
So I would be really curious, and I'm going to be joining you then. So tell the folks here who's listening where they can reach you, how they can reach you.
Okay, they can reach me a gift for your soul at live.com. The webpage is www.gift4yoursoul.com. It's going to be up in 2 weeks, because I'm putting some other paintings and illustrations that I do.
So a gift for your soul.
Yes.
And it's a gift and then the number 4 for your soul. Okay.
And then they can reach me at my email. That is.
Give your email now.
Okay, it is gift number 4 yoursoul@live.com.
Wonderful, wonderful. And then the book, once again, can be purchased at Amazon,
Balboa Press, Barnes & Noble, and I believe in other online stores.
Press. Okay. And online, you can also download it as an ebook.
Yes, the ebook is $3.99, and this one, the price is different in between.
They vary.
Okay. Yeah,
that's fine. Well, I want to thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your story, and I know the audience felt that more, because I feel that every time I speak to you, she really comes from the heart. She's really genuine, and that's why I wanted to invite her on the show and share, a story that a lot of us, like I said, we live it. It takes place maybe in a different country, in a different city, but it's the same. We need to find an answer. We need to find a solution. We need to find hope.
And we need to go within, because sometimes we search for answers outside ourselves, and all the answers are when you go within, when you connect with your heart, when you let the little voice within yourself speak to you, and have faith that everything is possible if you believe. The only thing you have to do is really believe.
So thank you so much for
being
on the show today.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing Sandra on my show once a month. She's definitely going to be co-hosting this program, The Power of Gentle Talk. Once a month, and we have a lot of surprises. I've got a lot of new co-hosts that are going to contribute to this wonderful chats that we have here. So I want to say thank you for tuning in to The Power of Gentle Talk, and remember, when in doubt, go within your heart, because I truly believe that your heart is the true seat of intelligence. So keep an open mind, and let's talk again right here, WBZT 1230 and iHeartRadio.
You have just listened to The Power of Gentle Talk with Ana Palacio. Tune in next Saturday between 2 and 3 p.m. for the talk that informs, inspires, and motivates.